So today is a really, really, really exciting day. Today is the day that we're going to go to Amodernyarn in Formby. I am so excited. I've talked about Amodernyarn so many times on this channel. This is my favourite wool shop, my favourite local wool shop. If you are visiting Liverpool and you are trying to find a really beautiful wool shop with an owner behind it that just has this amazing fountain of knowledge, this needs to be your first stop. So Formby is north of Liverpool. If you're coming to Liverpool Central, get on the Southport train and you can get off the train at Formby. And she's literally right on the high street and it's 39 Chapel Lane. She's also got a website as well. So you've got Amodernyarn.com. This is where you can book her classes. You can go through, and she has obviously stock on there as well. But what's really special about Amodernyarn is it's a brick and mortar store. You can go in and you can feel those yarns. And Michaela, who owns the store, she is so knowledgeable. She's the kind of person where you go in and you feel her energy. She just welcomes you in. It's so wonderful. So I am so excited to see what's going to happen. So let's go. Let's go get in the car and let's go drive there. Hello, just Steph from the future popping in here. Just before we go to Amodernyarn, I've just got back and I've got huge news. We are going to be doing a giveaway. Michaela has given us 3 books to do as a giveaway. So at the end of the video, you'll get all the information about that. Right, let's go back to the shop. You can see it in the distance, just over there. So here we are, walking up to the shop. You can see all of the amazing wool in the window right there. It's so exciting. Okay, so we're here at Amodernyarn. First thing I want to do is I want us to look in the window. So cool, isn't this absolutely amazing? This is the Cedar, the crochet along. But how amazing are the colours that they've used? It's absolutely this box. Look at this vest. Oh my gosh, crochet. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. Oh my god, look at the little dress as well with the little shoes. Oh my gosh, aren't they absolutely amazing? Have a little look at this down here too. Look at those. Oh, we are going to have to go through absolutely all of this when we go inside. Right, let's go inside. Okay, so we're here. We're in Amodernyarn, and I've talked about this shop so much on the channel, and I just want to show you all how amazing this place is. First, everyone just sort of want to wave at Michaela over there in the corner. Hi! We're going to have a chat with Michaela in a second. First, have a little look at all of these cottons. The first time I ever used cotton is I actually used these when I was making sort of like little toys. You know, you kind of saw me making some of those granny squares, using that granny square book. These are £1.45. I actually had the glitter ones in these as well. These were absolutely beautiful. You've also got all of these amazing little pattern books. That was the pattern book that we saw in the other video. So nice. So we've got some pure baby DK. Look at all these lovely colours. Oh my gosh. Fairground, look how fab that is. Look at those colours. I love the fact that when I first saw it I just thought it was like an autumn wool, but look at that little pop of blue right there. That's it knitted up. Is that it knitted up?
So they're the colours. That is that colour knitted up. So
isn't that amazing?
You can tell everybody that you've done fair well, but it doesn't really. Don't tell everyone.
How amazing! Oh, you can just imagine Jackson in that. It almost looks like it's got like a little wave going through it. How stunning! So that worked up. Absolutely beautiful. I love that colour as well. Look at that. Gorgeous. So we'll come back over here, have a little look. We've got some little eyes. And look over here. Oh, look at that. Will be. I can never pronounce things. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff. It's terrible. That's absolutely gorgeous as well. Let's have a look. We've got some nice cotton. I really want to start making a garment out of cotton. Like I really, really, really want that. I keep saying, like, from when I went to the Abercans video, when I was looking through some of the catalogues there, I really do want to make something a bit more summery, because I always work in wool and I've never ever made a garment out of cotton, and that is just very much up my street, isn't it, guys? What's really lovely about this, they've got absolutely tons of different colours in there. Let's have a little look down here. Oh my god, elements. That, I don't know whether it's showing up on the camera, but it almost has a sheen to it. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? That's so stunning. The blue, that blue there, fresh water. Oh gosh, look at that. Isn't that fab? It almost looks, when you look closely, it almost looks like it's got another colour running through it, but it has this amazing, almost like, not quite metallic. I think metallic is probably too strong of a word to actually say, but, oh, and it feels so soft. Let's have a little look what that is. 40% wool. That is not bad, that's gorgeous. Let's have a look. So you've got the Cedar Stories. I keep trying to say Cedar. It just wants to come out. Cedar really wants to come out. These, oh my gosh, these boho. Aren't that, oh my god, isn't that gorgeous? All those colours. Look at that red, that pop of red coming out. That though, with the pink and that orange. Oh, that's fat. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, like, bright neon pink with that purple. Oh my gosh, absolutely gorgeous. And that blue. Blues. I feel like today I'm just like rocking the blues. I'm being drawn to all of the blue colours. Let's have a look and see what else we have. These as well, they're gorgeous. Colour Rush. They're fab. $3.95 for a ball. That is so nice. Let's see what else. There's another blue. That's it. Oh, look at this one as well. That's got like, look at that. So it's got like some browns, almost like kind of coffee kind of colours, and that little pop of blue coming through. That's stunning. How nice is that? Oh my gosh. That is so fab. What wool is that, Michaela?
That's boho.
Is it?
With an acrylic. It was a workshop we done.
Is that like mosaic?
It's mosaic, yeah. So it's been really popular.
Oh my god, that is
But
absolutely
the
gorgeous.
Colour, gradient in boho is incredible.
Oh, there's some nice big cakes down here. Look at that cotton. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so beautiful. Oh, that combination as well. Oh my days. That is absolutely stunning. So nice. They're really silky. Let's see what this is here. Marshmallow pies, double knitting. Oh my god, look at that. Look at these. I love this. I love the fact that with that, it just looks so orange. You turn it over and then you've got this little kind of pink, like a bubblegum pink, just popping out in the middle. Isn't that fab? Oh, I can imagine a jumper in this. That's not that bad as well. That's £4. What was it? £4. 150 grams for $4.95. That's actually unreal. Oh my gosh. I think that might be coming home with us too. My husband is filming right now, and it's quite dangerous being in a wool shop, and I have him and I'm saying, well, I'm bringing this home, and I'm just worrying how much it's going to spend. Are you worrying as well, Red, how much I'm going to spend?
Whatever you think is appropriate.
Correct. happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. Oh, that. Look at that. Aztec Aran with alpaca. So I don't really use anything heavier than a DK normally, but after I've made that 3/4 zip jumper, I'm really interested now in using Aran wools. Imagine doing a little jumper like that. Oh, you've got one made up. Oh my god, let's have a little look. Fabulous. Michaela just handed me this.
So that's tin can knit flax.
Oh my gosh.
Next time
It's so nice. Oh my gosh. This is just like screaming, wear me by a fire. wear me by a fire. I can see Red is nodding. Red, you like this one?
Lovely.
Yeah, this is very much like, I could imagine you wearing something like this. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. What's really beautiful about this is you can actually see those little yellow flecks that are coming through it. Oh, I love that when a wool has got like depth. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, glittery. Little glittery moment here. So these are the West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply. But look at that glitter. That is just like Christmas, isn't it? Imagine like making little Christmas socks with that. Oh my gosh. So pretty. So they are £8.95 for those ones. So nice. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, that is so soft. That is so soft. So pretty. That's all I keep saying. It's like, oh my god, it's so pretty. It's so nice. It's so pretty. Let's have a little look at these as well. Woolen Walk. Sock wool. Look at those greens. Oh, so fab. Everything in here is just like so nice. It's so pretty. I'm just like, ah! It's so good. I love the way you've got like little sort of samples of things like made up, and it's not just knitting, it's crochet as well.
You do a lot of crochet. Well, Penny,
Is she local?
yeah, so she's Hyson, but I've got a small selection. She's doing lots of sort of festivals at the moment, but she supplies those little samples for me.
Oh,
Yeah, so she's Hyson, and then the one above is
This
Red
one
Sponge,
here.
and she's Formby. Yeah, so we're trying to stock local
I'm
as best I can.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that David gave me a paper
Yeah,
bag that
yeah.
had some of
Yeah.
that stuff. That I'm very interested in. That is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this one as well. So this. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is where you start getting your hand-dyed skeins, and this is what's so good about this shop is it caters for every price packet. It's not just high-end wool, not just cheap wool. It's everything. It's absolutely everything. These are interesting. This merino sport, so soft. I love that blue. Let's have a little look. Yeah. Oh my god, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? What's that made up with?
So that's Cygnus. That one, it's colour
Ooh.
rush. So you're drawn to it because you love the colour rush and the DK.
Yeah.
It's so chunky, yeah.
That is
So,
so nice.
and a lot of these patterns that you see, like these colour ones, these are free patterns on signet.com. So if you go on signetyarn.com,
You get the
there's
free.
hundreds of patterns free, yeah.
Oh, and you got your like your chenilles, chunky chenille. Look at that green. Oh, look at that green. Isn't that fab? Oh, it's so nice. Oh, I like this. Fusion chunky. That's kind of like that that James T. Brett wool with the black and the yellow. It's like a little purple moment. So lovely. Oh, and we've got those little stitch markers. A little film of those. Gorgeous little stitch markers. How cute. I love the frog. I love frogs so much. I feel like one day I'm going to be the person that collects frogs. Is that a little bear? It's a little teddy bear. Oh my god, so cute. Oh, look at these buttons, these handmade buttons. Oh, aren't they fab? They are. Oh god, they've got little bones. Oh, if we make Tilly a little coat. Let's have a little dog bone. That'd be so cute. And then obviously we have all of the wall of accessories here as well, which is amazing. Loads and loads of knitting needles. And then we have lots of crochet as well. What's really great is I love the fact that we can actually come and it's actually got a dedicated section for crochet, where a lot of shops will just have like a few. They might have like one little row that you might have, but this is just loads and loads of different things. Oh, it's so right. So I'm sat here right now with Michaela from Amodernyarn. I am absolutely buzzing. Thank you so much.
Welcome. It's lovely to see you.
I'm so honestly, I'm so grateful that you've let me come in and just film in the shop, because like I've gone into the shops and like filmed and stuff, but I've never like just like actually like approached an owner and been like, will you just like let me sit in here and have an
So I'm
interview?
your first.
You're the first person
Ah,
I've interviewed,
amazing,
so this could be a
amazing.
little bit shaky because I don't know what I'm doing,
Don't
but you
it's
know
fine.
what? It's
Oh,
just
natural. That's
yeah,
it.
fly by
Good.
the seat of your pants.
Absolutely. All good. All good. All good.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions,
Okay.
if that's okay.
I feel like I'm in the mastermind.
I know.
chair.
So, what you said before that you've always worked in retail.
Yeah.
What was how did this come to like fruition?
I've crafted since I was 10, 11. This sounds really only child. But my mum was a dressmaker and milliner by trade. She didn't really knit or knit or crochet, but I was always surrounded by creativity. So as a kid, my mum was in George Henry Lee. I mean, you might be too young.
I know. I remember George Henry
Lee.
Lee. I do.
So, I was in George Henry Lee every week because she worked in the dressmakers in Bowl Street when it was all that kind of thing. So George Henry Lee was just the go-to. So when I got to teenage years and I was going to friends, we just headed to George Henry Lee, and they were like, "Oh, it's George Henry Lee." So I was always around creative, and I think just my age group, you didn't have videos to watch or iPad. You read. So I had a little book. I started knitting. I never really. It wasn't cool, you know. 12-year-old knitting's not cool really, but it's cool when your friends realise you can make in the 80s Aran slip over tops or tank tops, which are now all on trend.
Yes.
We thought that was the best thing since sliced bread. So we all had these Aran tank tops, as you would call them, because I made them for my friends. And then moving on work-wise, I got a job in George Henry Lee as a knitting machine demonstrator for a company called Bond.
Oh wow.
So it was a really basic knitting machine, but I got my foot in the door. Worked there for 15 years, started knitting machine demonstrator, moved in to work for George Henry Lee, done an admin job, then I got promoted to section manager, then I got department manager, and I'd worked on the wool department and the fabrics and the haberdashery, and I just absolutely loved it. It was one of the best jobs. I obviously moved after that. And then to speed forward to back to the original question, I always wanted to open a wool shop, always, because I just love it. If you came to my house, I've got the she shed in the garden.
Oh, amazing.
Which is like this, not as big, but I used to work from there before I got the shop. So when I turned 55, I got an email from a letter from George Henry Lee and said, "We've got a pension for you." And I was like, nice. Okay, that might get me a weekend away. Well, it didn't. It opened a shop.
Oh my god!
So
That's so amazing.
It's a lovely story because I learnt my trade. I had a bit of background, but I learnt my trades with George Henry Lee, and a lot. I mean, there's ladies. I give a shout out to Heather and Alison who work in George Henry Lee still, and I know there's some people up here.
Yeah.
So it's. I like the fact that George Henry Lee's pension enabled me to fund opening a little wool shop.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband thought it was absolutely crackers. He was just like, "What are you doing?" And the week we opened, it was the energy crisis.
Really?
And I was like, "What have I done?
Oh.
What have I done?" But no regrets. No regrets. I think because I'm a retailer at heart, I've worked John Lewis, M&S, Tesco, Debenhams. So when people come in, I think they can tell because I changed. I mean, last time you come in, this room show probably different.
I know you have like a section over there that was kind of like,
So I change it constantly because the reason I do that, I see people like yourself who come up every so often, but I have my regulars who come in every week, every 2 weeks, knitting every week. So I feel it's my job to move things around.
To give the people what they want.
Yeah, because everyone sits in the same place. And if I kept the shop as it was, they would only see the same wool at the same every week. So that's why I move things around. Quite reactive to what's going on out there.
Yeah.
I like see it, buy it. So if you see a sample, or it's important to me that you see something and you can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of crochet.
I know that's what I love. I love because I feel like a lot of feedback that I see is people will go into shops, like into wool shops, and then people turn their nose up at them because they find that they're a crocheter and they're not a knitter. And I didn't feel like that when I came in. I love the fact that I came in and said, "Do you have Moorit magazine?" And you were like, "Yes." And I was like so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, they carry Moorit. This is like so good."
Yeah.
And maybe seeing what's happening with Moorit. That's so sad.
I know.
So sad.
And it is the sign. It is the sign of the times. I mean, one of the biggest compliments I get for this shop is coming in you've done it. You come in, you want to squish.
Yeah.
So you'll see my Instagram, come and have a squish
Come have a
today.
squish
Just come and have a squish, you know. And I think that's changed slightly. You know, I'm very proud of this place. And there's still work to be done, and we're in our work. We're in our year 3, thank God. And I'm not going anywhere. I keep saying to people, "You'll see me in the window rocking in my AC." But I will carry on doing this until I stop loving doing it, and I can't see that happening. So I think my husband would be a bit obsessed if he heard me say I'm going to be here till I'm 80. But it's just that little haven. It's that little piece, and people come in and say, it's got a nice vibe. It has got, I think it's got a nice vibe. Yeah, and it's calming and it's creative.
You're warm and you're welcoming. That's what's really like. I think that's what's like so lovely about coming here. Where some other shops that I've gone to, you kind of feel like the staff, although they obviously are very passionate with what they do, they're not really showing you that. They're just kind of in their own world doing that. But you have a conversation with everyone. It kind of just, it feels like a hub of like community. That's what it feels like.
That's one thing I didn't factor in. I remember having a meeting with the accountants, you know, and I was like, God, this is the big girl pants down of an accountant. So, and I said, you know, if I just took £200 a week, and she went, what? And I was like, and this is how naive, although I've been in retail and I've made money for other people all my life, I said, if I cover the bills and I can pay you back there, I just don't know. And she looked at me and she was like, okay, all right, if you think that. And then a year later, she was like, right, can you remember that first conversation? So I think I said when you came in, I'm never going to have a Bentley, I'm never going to be a millionaire, and as long as I enjoy it, I'll keep it going. But it's the community I didn't factor in. Yeah. So that's the part I love. I love meeting new people. And we had a little girl in this morning, although we weren't officially open, we were teaching. She was 10 and Nan was showing her how to knit.
Oh,
so she, you know, and you find it now from sort of, I'd say children 8 upwards have had the capability. Some people come in with 6-year-olds and they're a little bit too young. Yeah. But we're seeing a lot more young ladies, I would say,
I think
coming
as well,
in,
like having people around, because like my mum, she never ever crocheted. My nan knitted, but never ever sort of taught me how to knit. My other nan who crocheted and knitted, she was very impatient, and there was a time that she tried to teach me how to crochet, but honestly I've nearly had a crochet hook in my head, so I was like, no. She was amazing and I loved her, but she could not teach. And like, I think like my niece, she's 3, and she'll sit in front of me and she'll like, as soon as she's like bag of wool, and I just give her a little crochet hook, and I'm hoping that when she gets to the age where she can feel like she can, that I'm going to be able to transfer that skill to her.
You know what, even if she just sat and made a load of chains and plastic chains, and I say that to people. I had a lady come in and she thought if I taught a 6-year-old to teach to crochet, she could have that jacket made, and I was like, no. And the challenge as well, there's a generation gap who did not get taught to crochet, knit or sew in schools. Yeah, it's all very academia. Well, when I went to school, when I was in my senior years, we done cookery one term and needlework the next term. So you just don't get that. So now there's a lot of schools around here that are doing knitting classes for their kids.
That is so
which is fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic.
We did needlework and I remember making a pillow and it was awful.
But the mums haven't got the skill. Yeah. And then unfortunately you've got women of my age, 50, late 50s, who haven't got the mums. So they were the people who would go to the mums, and the mum will go, give it to me, I'll sew it up, and they haven't got that now. So I do call us the 4th emergency service in Formby, because the door opens and people go, I've dropped my stitches, or I've done this, and I go, sorry, sit down, it's fine,
let's go through it.
It's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. Yeah, so there's a generation gap. Hopefully it'll come back. Yeah. We need all those mums to come in and so I can teach them to crochet, and then they can pass that life skill down.
That's so good.
But we've taught, I'd say 850 people to crochet since we've opened. It's absolutely snowballed. Summer's quite quiet, and then it picks up again in autumn, but we do monthly classes, so if anyone's interested,
definitely
Amodernyarn.com, all the classes are on there.
And you sell online as well, don't you?
Yeah, we do a little bit online. I don't want to be an online business. Do you know what I think it is? It's when people come past and see the shop and can't come in for some reason. What's the first thing you do when you go home? You look up and see what's this business about. Yeah. So it's maybe to give the customer a bit of confidence that we know what we're talking about. Yeah. So I don't sell that much, but we sell a lot of classes because it's convenient.
So you can go, right, we're book into
Saturday
this.
night's a great one. I sell loads because I think people have a glass of wine and think, let's go and do this workshop. Yeah. So, so there's little bits online. On the bottom of our screen, there's a chat button. Press it, ask us any questions, and we'll come straight back to you. So if there's something you can't see, message me, because the chances we might have it, or I can definitely give you an equivalent.
Amazing. Oh, how did you learn to crochet? Because obviously you told me how you learned to
Yeah, so that's another story. Another story. So I taught myself to crochet, but I don't crochet like you crochet.
Okay.
So I'm a knitter by trade, and I constantly have a line. Have you seen that this is constant, this line?
Oh my gosh,
That never goes. That's just there.
For those who can't see,
It's
there's like a little sort of
it's like-
indentation going around.
I call it my knitting tattoo. That's the thing. So because I've always held tension in my right hand because I knit,
Yeah.
I cannot hold tension in this hand when I crochet. I can't take the yarn.
Okay.
So I crochet like I knit. People are fascinated. So I hold my hook and I crochet like I knit with my right hand. Now, I didn't teach crochet for a long time because I was like, listen, I can't show you the traditional way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, right, I'm gonna give it a go. And there's a lot more knitters out there than crocheters who can't crochet. And as soon as I say, try it this way, and you go, oh,
Then you can do it like, yeah.
So I can do both. My preference is to use my right hand and crochet like I knit. But we teach left-handed people as well in here. So I taught myself how to crochet, and I just keep trying new things. I'm just doing a mosaic crochet jumper.
Ooh.
So that will come out as a workshop.
Oh my gosh.
So if you can double crochet, treble crochet, half treble, you can make anything you see in the shop. You just have to practice.
That's the thing. It's like you just have to apply yourself.
Yeah, and it's a
what
confidence
I think is really
thing.
good as well is the fact that YouTube, you have this sort of
so
well of
much
things where you
resource,
kind of go. Where like when you were learning, you were saying about like getting a book and having to like read that. One of my followers, she told me that she taught herself how to crochet in 1969 and just had this book and just taught herself, and it blows my mind because I'm so visual. I find it so hard to follow
things. I can't do
things.
the video thing. I like book. I like
the
a book.
books.
I'm getting better with my iPad, so I'm not printing. So I'll do it that way. But I do like I like a book and I like a reference.
Yeah.
But people learn different ways. So
see, I'm more like I'm like visual. Like I go to a class, have someone showing me. That's the way I kind of take it.
I think. When I was teaching before lockdown, and then lockdown happened, unfortunately, I said to my husband, that's it. Everyone's just going to go on YouTube. That's it. All these teachers. But what it did do, it sort of got people to dip the toe in the water and had to go and couldn't do it, but wanted to still do it. And that's where the teachers come in hand and exactly what you said. I will sit by you and I will show you how to do it. Yeah, so, and it's a safety net, isn't it? It's just you. A lot of people just want to used to go, keep going.
Yeah, you can do it. You're fine.
I mean, what does the first row of crochet look like?
Do you know what I was trying to teach some of my friends how to crochet, and it was not going well.
If you don't know crochet and you've done the first row of crochet, you would most probably think,
what is this?
What is this?
Why is it kind of curling?
Yeah.
And then it's also like your chain going, like you need to make sure your chain's staying like straight and things like that. Yeah.
So I'd like to think we inspire, we encourage.
Yeah.
Have a go. At the end of the day, it's a piece of string and a stick.
Yeah.
what hard? You know, if it's not right, take it out and try again. But practice makes perfect. The more you do it. But my job is to inspire you and find you those patterns that.
Yes.
So something like that, for instance.
Love that so much.
You know, we've done lots of classes, and they've then turned into gifts for people because they've made Christmas gifts and give them these bags. That. So have a go.
That's so cool.
Don't be scared.
I think what's good as well is like when people like community, you can only get so far with the community online. I think the next step is in person. It's like going into a shop like this where you have this like well of knowledge. You can see all this around you. The classes, it's like so important. Yeah. Obviously, besides like the obvious, you know, you've come to like a wool shop, you know, you want to buy yarn. What is the role of a wool shop in like a community, in your opinion?
I think it's to welcome you into this space because it can be quite scary.
Yeah.
You know, if you have not been in a wool shop and you walk into this space and there's no one approaching you, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to jump on you and go, come with me. But the first thing I'll say to you is, if you need me, I'm here. Yeah. So you'll either get two responses, oh, I'm only in for a mooch, or that's a real Scouse thing. I'm only for a mooch. Or they'll go, no, I I need you. So it is support, it is an emergency service,
the
it is
support.
help, and
Yeah.
it is actually it's the community that we've built that I was saying before, I didn't even factor in, is actually a lot of it has come from people who have come in to learn how to crochet on this, and then they've been with like-minded people, because we're really nice people, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We're lovely people.
Crafters,
Yeah.
crocheters, knissers.
Supportive,
We're
that's
very,
the word,
yeah,
isn't
we're
it?
very, and we want to share. And so the role for me is support, be
Yeah.
friendly. You know, I learned, and this, I'll give M&S the credit for this when I worked for M&S. A trainer said to me once on a training session, she said, the person you speak to when they come into this shop, you might be the only person they speak to. They might go home and they may never have anyone else to speak to. And I was 18 when I worked for M&S.
I love that.
So that is, don't cry.
I'm like that. I love that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
So that is really, that's one of my mantras, because yeah, you know what, I might have 15 boxes of wool or patterns put away, but that lady who's made the effort to put a lippy on, get dressed, come into a shop. Some people just want to have a little chat and reminisce. I mean, that lady who came in when you were here, you know, so I've always got time for people, and just remember, you might be the only person that they speak to.
Oh my gosh.
We get a lot of ladies who've lost their husbands, unfortunately, have moved into Formby to live by family and don't know anyone. So they'll come in and, you know, we'll make sure they're looked after. We've had our Nis and Nassers, we've had people who live in the same road, maybe a long road, but they know each other, and then they come and they go, well, I live in that road. Well, do you? Well, how many years have you lived there? So it's brought people together.
Crochet, crafting, knitting brings everybody
definitely.
together.
So support.
Yeah. When you went into the shop, did you think, like, I'm going to start teaching classes, like this is going to be like a base of the community?
Well, there's another story. So I always taught, I work full time, but then there was a niche, I would say 5-6 years ago, it was sort of people wanted to do things. So I started teaching a little shop, it's no longer there unfortunately, called Tilly Mints. It was like a little gift shop in Crosby. And Becca, who works with me here, used to work there. And she's a sewer, and she does classes as well. So I started there with 3 or 4 people, and those people still come to Knit and Nassers now from Crosby.
Oh, how lovely.
So when I opened the shop, the first day, people were coming in, I was like, hi, and just do you teach? Oh yeah, so I got a piece of paper, okay, Sally Smith, blah, 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 blah. And we got to 1 o'clock and there was 32 people on the list.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, right, this is not going to work, this list is not going to work. So
little scrap of paper.
so we were doing, we opened in November, and then I decided to start to teach in the January, and we were doing 2 classes 2 nights a week. So we were doing a 5 till 7 class and a 7 till 9 class on a Monday and Tuesday for months to get all these people through, and that was a 4-week class.
Oh my gosh.
So they came in every 4 weeks, and then it was like, well, this is the last week, so what are we going to do now? And I was like, well, I'm starting the next generation. We're on like the 10th generation. So that's how then, I'd always done, not Nis and Natter as such, I taught a lot of ladies. So the new ladies then want to come up anyway, so we've done a Wednesday night. So the Wednesday night, a lot of those ladies are the originals who were taught on a Monday and a Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So, and the 7 till 9 guys, they are prominently from Crosby, because they have kept,
because they've kept that sort of relationship.
I announced when I was in Crop, I'm saying I've got an announcement to make, and they were like, are you stopping teaching? I was like, no, I'm opening a shop, but it's going to be in Formby, and they come.
And they were like, great,
like,
they're
here.
That's
It's
so
like
amazing.
It's like running a pub here on a Wednesday night. It's the busiest pub. Not that I serve alcohol, but this is the busiest pub on a Wednesday night, and I have to throw them out.
That's the best kind of pub.
So 7 o'clock, the people who come in.
Yeah.
The early doors go out, and the other people come in.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so,
oh my god,
I'll
that's
send you
so
some, because
funny.
it's brilliant.
Send me some, that is
it's
so
brilliant, and
fab.
it is a little bit of a TARDIS, because I say to people, get Nis and Nasser, and I think they think they're going to come in, just sit and talk to me, and I go, oh no, well there's 16 people in this session, there's 16 people in that session, and I say we've started a Friday morning, and that's been really successful.
I love that so
one lady came on Friday, and she, you know, I know her briefly, I don't know that well, but she's lovely, and she said, the nice thing, I was in the back making teas and coffees, and I could hear them all talk about knitting and crochet, and I'm in the back of me, and
you're just like, oh
my god. And this lady said to me, it's so refreshing to say to somebody about knitting, and they go, oh yeah, sure, because I say to my friends, and they go,
look at it, got 3 heads.
What?
Yeah.
So I go, well, you found your people, you found your tribe.
The tribe. tribe,
you
the
found-
wool
yeah.
tribe. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. So, and then you've got people like our lovely Davis,
Oh, yeah, David's
who
amazing.
I don't see a lot, but I see he comes to many occasions that we do.
Yeah.
We've got yarn bombers that you need to come up with this with your
I-
little chat. I'll get you the date. I want to say something like the 15th of June. So the whole village is yarn bomber for the day.
Oh
So
my
we
gosh.
then have tables out to all my customers come. We all
I've
sit
seen you got
outside in
pictures.
this.
Did you do it last year? 'Cause I'm sure
Yeah,
you've
we've done it. This will be our
photos.
third year. So,
I'll have to bring Jackson to look
so
for.
we have all the tables outside.
Yeah.
Pray for nice weather.
Yeah, fingers
And
crossed.
yeah, everyone brings what they're doing. And
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I want to do that. I want to
Yeah.
come. I'm so going to come.
So, yeah, it's just brilliant. The more you don't realise until you start talking about it, you think actually
This
it's
is,
good.
like, great.
Yeah, we've done good.
That's so fun. Controversial
Oh,
question.
here we go.
As someone who knits and crochets, what do you prefer?
50-50. 50-50. This time of year, crochet. But I love my knitting.
Yeah,
I think I very rarely would knit a blanket. I'd always crochet a blanket.
because it comes. It always comes
I
up
know
quick,
you're big on your hexy cardies.
Yeah.
So hexy, I would, yeah, but I like colour work and knitting. Yeah.
Like what you're wearing is stunning.
Thank
It's
you.
absolutely
Yeah, it's one.
stunning.
This is one of my favourites. This is Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter, and that little number there was inspired by the next hexy.
I love.
So they brought a hexy out, which is the price. Everyone's gone, oh my god! But
For
it's
next?
next.
What do you think about this? Like big brands. Because I have been seeing Marks and Spencers. I'm talking about this in my podcast, and I feel quite uncomfortable with it. I saw they had a hat, a bucket hat, and it was being sold for £20.
Yeah.
And
I would
find
say
it, like, quite uncomfortable.
Going back to what my job is.
Yeah.
My job is, girls were sending me and saying, have you seen the cardigan in X? It's £72, and I was like, well,
You've
realistically,
got to pay for someone to make
realistically, it will be handmade by someone,
Yeah.
and actually they could charge £150 for
Yeah.
it. So I think the controversy is, what are they paying somebody to
Who's
make
the
it?
person? How are they doing?
Yeah.
How long that's taken
Yeah,
that
to
person
take
to
to do
make?
it. So that took me a week to do.
Yeah.
And if I was buying the wool, it would cost me £20. But if I was making it for you, I'd say £75
Yeah.
because it would. I was like, couldn't stop it. But as a viable bit, we do not sell handmade garments because this is another bone of contention. You might have to take this out. But
Okay.
people do not appreciate the time that goes into things.
I was about to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like people think it's a compliment where you show somebody
Yeah.
something, and they'll go, "You could sell that."
Yeah.
And you're like, I know I could sell this, but you obviously don't understand how, and it's not the compliment that you think it is.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I want my customers to get the kick out of somebody going, oh my god, I love that, and you go, amazing.
I made this.
So
yeah.
that's my, and now and again, in sort of the Christmas months, I'll do some handmade scarves and we'll sell them, but I don't sell them cheap, and people will pay because they know it's handmade.
Exactly, it's one of a kind.
Yeah, and I think unless you're a crafter, a knitter, a crochet, right, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Because if you said to somebody, I said a week, and
Yeah.
but the hours is maybe probably 60 hours, so your minimum wage out the window. You've still got your cost of your fabric. So my thing is, well, I'll teach you.
Yeah, I'll give
show-
you the
I'll
skill and show you how to do
it.
that.
Yeah, because actually, it looks complicated, but it isn't.
Yeah,
It isn't.
100%. The
But-
hexie card, there was
Yeah.
a lady that I work with and she said that she can't do garments. I was like, can you do a granny square?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you need to look into
It's
hexie
magic, isn't
cardies. Go into a hexie cardie, like, go for it.
Well, you inspired me because you came in with your lovely
My
autumnal.
autumn one.
And I've seen that, and I'd not actually I'd done a little baby, so there's a baby hexie there. But it was when I seen the next colourways, and I looked and I thought, I've got all those colours. And it's not colours I would normally wear, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So learn to crochet, learn how to do a granny square, and you will be able to make it wearable.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's the understanding. I know there's a lot of things going out there now with AI, and there's things with the embroidery machines. So there's a lot of designers who it's embroidery. I don't know how they do it, but there will be machines that will be able to do it, but it's not going to be like handcrafted.
No, I saw a lady walk past me actually in the Albert Dock the other day, and I thought from far away, I thought she was wearing like
Yeah, yeah.
granny square like top, and when she got closer, I realised it was machine knit. And I was like, that's just
Yeah.
blowing my mind.
You could maybe probably do something. I mean, it must drive you nuts when someone says, "What you're knitting?" If you go,
yeah, and I'm like, I'm not knitting.
I'm crocheting. And they're like, we don't care because you don't know. But yeah, or you know what?
They're like, that's the same thing.
Yeah, you can't say it in a nice way. Can you want crochet? You can't say it in a nice way. But yeah, learn a craft.
Yeah.
Make it yourself, and then you'll have a fantastic wardrobe.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know people are going out there and doing makers markets, and they're selling things. And if they want to sell them cheap, they can sell them cheap. It's you know, because people do. I mean, when I used to do for makers markets, I used to think I'm sitting watching the television. I've got Netflix on. It's not costing me anything.
Yeah.
I can't sit. I don't know about you, but you've got a little chat, but I haven't. So I can't sit and watch the television without having. I've got to do something.
Yeah.
So that's what you've got to factor in. But
Yeah.
what people do, if they are selling things or undervaluing their craft, no one's ever going to make any money out of it because people compare. And the worst thing you can do is ask a family member to make you something. And then you go and tell your friends, oh, my sister's made that, will she make me one?
Yeah.
So it's a compliment.
It is. It's a huge
compliment.
It's coming from a place of love.
Absolutely.
But with a lack of understanding behind
Yeah.
it.
So ask your sister, would she make one for your friends?
Yeah.
And how much would she charge? Because,
you know what's really funny? My sister the other day said that to me.
It is,
And I'm making these little bunnies for Easter, and this is going to be coming out after Easter, so I can talk about it. I'm making a hamper, so I've made all the kids their own like Easter basket that we're going to put with the eggs and a little bunny. And she said to me, she was like, "Oh my god, that's so good! You should sell these. Like people will sell it." And then we had this big conversation where I was like, "People wouldn't pay at all," and she was like, "Yeah, you're right. You are right." Like, and it was like this kind of like, "Oh my gosh," kind of moment. Yeah.
This, you know, again, another story from Amodernyarn. There's a young chap who works over the road in one of the shops, and he's just so lovely. And I went in the other day, and he said, he talks like this to me, "Hi," and I go, "Oh yeah, you okay?" He says, "Are you the lady from the wool shop?" I said, "Yes, I am." He goes, "Can you crochet me a rose?" So in my head, I was like, "Yeah, I can, but when do you need it?" I said, "When do you need it for?" So he said, "Oh, no rush." He wants to send it to his girlfriends. So I wouldn't do it for many people, but I sat and I crocheted him a rose on a stem.
Oh.
And I took it in. Yes, he was like, "Oh my goodness, that's just perfect." So when someone appreciates it, I don't mind
100%.
doing it. But am I going to sit and make a dozen red roses and put in a vase and sell them in the shop? No,
no,
I'm not. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to make it. But yeah, so some people are very, we say, don't we, are you crochet worthy or sock worthy or knitting worthy?
100%.
Because I'm very protective over my crafting time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You only got so much time in this world, and it's like, it's slow craft. You're in like hustle culture.
Yeah.
That's why I like doing like the YouTube side of things. It's like I'm just sharing what I'm actually already doing, and that's like my kind of like hustle culture kind of vibe. But I tried to do markets, and I was just losing money doing the markets. I was like, this is
you
not.
just can't.
And you end up being sad, and then you end up sort of looking at your stuff, and then you're thinking,
you start getting quite narky because it's when people. So, as a crocheter coming in, you've walked in and appreciated every single thing, whether it's knitted or crochet, and that gives me a buzz because you get it. Yeah, you get it and you understand it. And you do get some people who come in and go, "Will you make?" And I go, if you're a price, you know, and they go, "No, I really want it." I mean, a blanket, you know, I could have sold that blanket in the window 10 times over. What would I sell it for? There's no price I could put on it because I can say this now because it's just going out after Easter. Yeah. So I've made a blanket for my friend whose birthday yesterday. Yeah. She doesn't know. She will say she'll get it today or tomorrow. But the reason she's getting this blanket is because I know how much she'll appreciate that blanket. And it's time. It's the time, but she's worth it. I made her socks for her birthday last year. And she bought her pyjamas and socks. She never even looked at the pyjamas. She just got the socks. And she's like, "God, have you made them?" So it's certain people in your life that even my husband gets on knitted socks now because he appreciates them. But there's not. I wouldn't make to sell. Yeah, no. It's those days.
It kills it. I think it just kills it for you.
And I don't want to repeat doing the same thing. You don't want to. I'm a process knitter at a point. I like trying new things. Yeah. But I don't like once I've done it, I'm not going to make 10 of them. Yeah. You know, so that it takes the shine off it really if you're doing a lot of the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you know what you just said about like sort of obviously make it yourself? if you were going to tell someone came into your shop and was like, right, I just really want to get into fibre arts, would you recommend knitting being easier to learn or crochet being easier to learn?
If you don't know either,
Yeah.
I would say, right, what do you want to make? Because that would then take me to the path of, I want to knit a hat.
Yeah.
Or I want to make a hat. Well, do you like this hat or do you like this hat? So, but if you are a knitter, knitters find crochet difficult and crochet finds knitting difficult.
I find knitting really hard.
So for you, with being a crocheter, you've now got 2 needles that are sticking under your arms. You're nearly closing your eyes out. Well, I've only got with crochet. I'm in control of that. But for a knitter to crochet, well, where do I put the hook? Because a knitter's used to seeing stitches on a needle, and that needle's going to go into that stitch. For a crocheter, that's a pain, because I'm like, oh,
it's like moving
for
things
a knitter
around.
to go give them a chain and go, we'll put your hook in the second chain from the hook, and they're like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? What does that mean? Slip knot people, the number of people who tie a knot at the beginning of their knitting and don't do a slip knot because they've never been shown, so they just, and I go, oh no, let me show you how to do a slip knot. So again, the answer to the question, if you didn't do anything, what do you want to make?
So you go more off the project, rather than like the actual craft
but
itself.
people do go, well, is this easier than...
That's something
it's
that
hard to answer, because it's like it's alien. It's like if you sat in a car and you didn't drive a car, but you could ride a bike.
Right.
So
okay.
you could I could show you how to ride a bike quicker than I can show you how to drive a car.
Yeah.
Because you can walk and get on it, you can wheel it, but it's a really difficult question. It goes back to what's my favourite baby? Is it crochet or knitting? So but yeah, it's hard. It's hard for knitters to crochet. Crochet is to knit. Yeah. So I don't think I've answered the question. Really,
it's too hard to answer.
It's too hard to answer.
And
you'll get knitters who just cannot crochet, and you can get crocheters who just can't knit. Or you'll get people who've knitted for years and then fall in love with crochet and don't want to go back to knitting.
Oh, really?
And vice versa. Yeah. I mean, crochet has come on so much.
Yeah.
So much.
I mean, when I've been going through like those like old books and stuff like that, and I'm looking at them, and then I go on Pinterest and you just see the stuff that people are making, and even like that Move It magazine, it's like the stuff that those people were producing were just like high quality, like really beautiful garments that would be 50
almost
years
have
ago you
to
wouldn't
look,
see.
don't you? You've got to look, because I look at some construction and think, is that knitted or crochet? Because it's so good. Crochet fascinates me, of the fabric that they're making. And with this being a knitted item, that's why I've decided to do a mosaic crochet sweater, because that would be the equivalent to knitwear, to do it this way. But I mean, the big thing now, people don't even use 2 straight needles, they're using interchangeable knitting needles with cords, so you don't even, that's another program for you.
I was like, what?
So people literally do not have straight needles, they'll have a cord, they'll change the interchangeable needles, and all of this is not sewn up, this is all knitted, all in one piece. So people are fascinated, because crocheters have done that for ages. We've done that. So that's what people are really into, and I'm very much right tool for right project. And buy the best you can. You don't go on Amazon, please don't go on Amazon and buy 26 crochet hooks for £4.50.
You need something that's going to be like comfortable in your hands.
I say to people, buy what you use. If you are a double knitter, use a 4mm. That's all you need in your arsenal. Treat yourself to maybe a different kind, but you don't need all the sizes. Buy it as you need it.
That's it. I was like that. I literally would have like, I tend to use 3.5 to a 5, like 10. That's the hooks that I tend to use. And it was like, I've been crocheting for 12 years before I decided to ask for Christmas for like a full set of the prim. I was like, I've been using prim now for a year. I like them. I'll ask for it. And it's not that often that I'll tend to go and use those like larger hooks and stuff like that.
Is that your preference? Prim? You like prim? You see, I can't, because I don't need ergonomic, because I don't hold my hook.
Oh, because
so I've got, I'll give you some spares. I've got some prim, because they're so beautiful.
I love the prim.
But to use them, my fingers were going to the top. I can't hold them.
Oh, that's so interesting.
But as you see, you're saying about all the crochet, we do basic. We sell very little basic now, because people want a different handle.
That's why I always say when people are like first learning, I'm like, right, get like a £2 hook.
Definitely.
See if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
If you enjoy it, throw
Yeah.
that away. Go get yourself
Yeah.
like something like an ergonomic.
I don't know if you've heard of a band called Tulip.
No.
So tulip has been the hot prophecy. Can I hold a tulip hook?
Just like no.
It's the handle. When I put my finger on it, it's like putting chalk on a board.
Oh,
Now
really? What's the
everybody,
material?
it's like a rubber. It's latex free. Have a little look
Okay.
before you go.
Yeah.
But everyone, there's Japanese design, non-stick, Teflon coated, but the hold on it. So when I've got people who are coming in and saying, "Can you just do that?" I go, "Oh, no, take that hook. Let me use my own hook." Because I like waves hook. I like the flatter handle, and I like Clover and More. So I'll use those.
Yeah.
But I say, it's what preference, but don't go out and spend a fortune unless you've got somebody who wants to buy a nice gift.
Exactly. That's like a
If
good
you
thing.
wanna
So if
do
there's
a
any
gift.
crocheters in your life, you know, go and
we can
treat
sort
them.
you out. Yeah, we can sort it out for you.
Last question then.
Okay.
What's your favourite wool?
I love wool, merino. My challenge here is whatever I make, people want to make. So I've got to make it very accessible to people. So my go-to would be merino. We do some nice merinos, silk-head mohair. I love a bit of fluff with a merino, so that's always good. Hand-dyes are beautiful, but not accessible to everyone. So this jumper I've got on, this is actually made in sock wool.
Oh, amazing.
So that was, you were looking at the Woolen Walk.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
was Woolen Walk and Luca X and Woolbine this is. So because this is done in sock wool, this is £27. If I'd done it in merino, it'd be £82. So, and you've got a lot of people who've got these beautiful hand-dyed skeins, which,
Stunning.
socks. But I don't want to put I don't want to put that beautiful sock wool in my sock. I love my handmade socks. So why not take one of your hand dyes but put it with a more accessible yarn to drop the price a little
That's what I'm
bit,
doing with some of the David yarns
And-
that he's given me.
Well, and some people are a bit scared. So I'm not, £27 is a reasonable
That's
amount
reasonable,
to spend.
yeah.
But it's not, I don't smoke. I can't say I don't drink, but I don't smoke. I'm not going on world cruises, and my vice is
This
fine
is your
yarn,
vice.
yeah.
This is your vice.
So, but if you're gonna make a jump like this, you've never done it before, and are you gonna spend £80 on wool to try it out? Not really.
No, definitely not.
No. So I'm not a yarn snob. Acrylic is great. It does the job, and you're not gonna get the colours that you get in this in the pure wool. It just won't work. But any wool's good. It's when people come in like they go, "Do you think they'd like that?" And I go, "I own the wool, and I own a wool shop, and if you bought me that, I'd be absolutely thrilled." And you go, "Okay, yeah, okay." But yeah, I think any craft's a good craft. Any yarn is great to use. But if you want to buy me something, merino
Go
would be
with the
good.
merino.
Yeah, go with the merino. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome,
I'm
yeah.
honestly, genuinely, thank you so much for being
You're
the very
very
first
welcome.
person I've interviewed.
Well,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much for being so welcoming every time I come in here and being very understanding that first day I came in with a little boy.
Fine. I remember because we had a desk across the end there.
You did, it was a big desk.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about this previously on the channel. The first time I came in and met Michaela, I brought my little boy in and he was in a pram. That's how little he was. And it was over here somewhere. And my friend Liz was in the corner. That's where you had all the jewel spun. And she was bent down looking at jewel. First time I bought jewel spun was in here. Never ever bought jewel spun. Now it's my favourite wool. And then suddenly Jackson had his hand into one of these lovely squares, pulling out all of this wool. And I've never been so embarrassed in all my life.
I think it was the joy in your face because you walked in the shop and just didn't know where to go.
I was like, oh, this
You
is
just
so
didn't know where
nice.
to go. And I just remembered the wool round the pram. And you were going, "Oh my God." Oh, I was like, "It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry
I was
about
like,
it." So
we've been looking on, looks like you had all these little sort of teasers
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
shop opening,
Yeah.
and me and Liz were planning on coming, and it was like, oh my gosh, we've been planning this for so long, she's never going to have us back.
I welcome children, prams, dogs.
Dogs.
Always
Are
a
you
good
dog
shout with dog
friendly?
family.
Oh,
dogs.
amazing. Let's bring Tilly next
So
time.
bring dogs in. We love dogs. Husbands are welcome. We do a little husband crash down here.
Little seats.
When we first opened, they'd all stand outside. They all come and have a chat now. So,
Oh, that's so
yeah.
lovely.
And then when we have every year we do a bit of an anniversary day, so all the husbands come in because we always have a beer in the back of the husbands.
Amazing.
So you're going to have to definitely come up for our anniversary as well.
When is the anniversary?
Our anniversary is the 14th of November.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
So,
I will
and
be there.
that's quite overwhelming because we sort of put, we put out, come and have a glass of fizz with us. And I come in with like my part-timer was in with me, Becca, and I was like, well, we might just be sitting here. It was, the shop was full all day. We had a table just full of gifts. Oh. And just again, people meeting people you've never met before. So, but I get quite emotional over it. You know, I was thinking about some of the questions that you were going to ask me, and I was just getting, oh yeah, actually, we are part of Formby. But we get lots of visitors. We get from all over the world as well, which is great.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully some of my international viewers are going to be like going,
right,
going to Liverpool.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, you've got your website,
and
Instagram,
and I
Facebook.
keep talking to my customers about you, so you're going to grow your and I've got a little giveaway to give you as well for your viewers. So
Oh my
we'll
gosh,
sort that
fantastic!
Out.
Yeah. Right, so I'll do that at the end of the video. I'll put that all in. Oh my god, thank you so much. So we have just got back home from a modern yarn. That was so much fun. I feel like I'm on a high right now. I'm so happy and I'm so excited. Michaela has been so welcoming and so kind. And not only kind to me, but kind to you guys as well. In this bag, I have got some giveaways. Right, so I have got 3 books that she has given me to give to you guys. Because she was so sweet. She was like, I've got a giveaway for your viewers and I'm just so happy to share this with you. So the first book that I'm going to show you is called Happy Knits for Little Kids Mini Pom. How cute is this? And Michaela was saying as well, like the patterns in there, you can actually make like adult versions as well. These are all crochet. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely stunning? So fab. I mean, I love a book that has some instructions as well. It's so good. So beautiful. This is absolutely lovely. Look at this little pig as well. So it's not just got stuff that you can wear. It's also got some little piggies, little tiny little amigurumi. Oh, is that word again? Amigurumi. Yeah. So if you would like that one, what I'm going to do is you have to like this video, comment below, and go over to Instagram and make sure that you are following Michaela. So that is the first book that we have. The second book is for our people who want to learn to crochet. You'll be able to crochet by the end of this book by Zoe Bateman. How lovely is this? So this gives you sort of knowledge from the very beginning. It tells you all about like yarn weights. It goes through hook sizes, everything that you need to know to learn how to crochet. Again, amazing diagrams. And then it has absolutely gorgeous little patterns, practical things, zip pouches, sleep masks, absolutely amazing stuff. So if you know somebody who wants to learn to crochet, or you want to learn to crochet, you've just kind of started, you want to learn more, enter the giveaway. We've got this amazing book. So this is the last book. Now this is for my ladies who knit. This is a knitting book. And what's really amazing about this is it shows you, if you want to use neons and you kind of think neons, I really like them, but they're not for me. This is showing you ways to bring neons into your colour work. So that, look, I'm in love with this book. If I knitted, oh my gosh, this book is so beautiful. So if you would like to be in with a chance to win that, I need you to go onto Instagram, because that is where I'm going to be doing this giveaway. To be in for a chance of winning one of those 3 books, head over to Instagram, over to my Instagram page at StephanieMitchard. There you will find that post with those 3 books. You have to make sure you're following me there, make sure you're following A Modern Yarn, and make sure that you like that post and give me a comment telling me which books that you think are the best. So thank you so much again for tuning in and coming with me to my favourite yarn store, A Modern Yarn in Formby. If you are in Liverpool, make sure you go visit Michaela, because she is a fountain of knowledge and her store is absolutely amazing, and she caters for every single price packet. She goes from your cheap wool right the way up to your expensive hand-dyed skeins. Obviously, I couldn't go to A Modern Yarn without buying some wool. And I ended up bringing home with me the marshmallow pie. That is in the colour Red Hot Rio. Oh my goodness, look at that. Is that not the most stunning colour you've ever seen? I had an idea of maybe doing another hexi-cardi in it. Stunning. That's what Michaela suggested. She was like, wouldn't that be amazing in a hexi-cardi? And I was like, yeah, it actually totally would. So I might make it into a hexi-cardi. I'm thinking. That's the plan for the moment. That's what I've got in my head. But yeah, so exciting. I feel like the fact that I've only come home with 3 balls of wool is a triumph. A triumph, really. Remember, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a subscribe, give me a like. I upload on Wednesdays in the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast, and on Sundays where we go through our crochet project of the week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.